The Boys episode 6. Right.
Okay.
Do you remember in season 3 when Herogasm came out?
Yeah.
I said everyone was saying this was going to be the most insane thing ever,
Yeah.
and I feel like it ended up actually disappointing a little bit because it wasn't that it wasn't that ridiculous.
Mm.
It wasn't anything we kind of hadn't already seen before.
Hmm.
This episode is the most insane episode they've done.
It was, it was wild.
Do you know what? It was giving season 1 energy.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
to an extent, they'd stopped parodying as much.
yeah.
That they'd stopped like deliberately kind of being like, "Oh yeah, Homelander's evil Superman. Oh yeah, A Train's the Flash." They tried to like move away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
This episode, they were like, "Yeah, Tek Knight is Batman."
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't even. They're like Web Weaver is
Well,
Spider Man, obviously. Like they didn't like do some of the stuff they've done more recently. Where they're like, it's the same kind of idea, but we're doing our own direction with it. They literally went, Tek Knight is what Batman would really be if he was a rich white boy.
well, it's like we sort of joked about it last week because obviously they did the whole Vought 93 or whatever it was. And some of the film titles for Tek Knight were very like Dark Knight-esque, taking the piss a bit. And we're like,
Yeah,
oh, they're really like taking the mick out of that. Wasn't expecting it to be like fully Batman piss take.
yeah. Um. So, I mean, where do we even fucking start with this episode? Holy shit.
I mean, I think it's safe to say Hughie has some pretty serious mental trauma now to go through that right after losing your dad.
I'm
Like,
I'm gonna. The show is meant to be, for the most part, light-hearted.
mm,
And the ridiculousness of the situation does make it funny. But fuck me, that must be legitimately traumatizing for Huey as a character.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We know Ashley a freaky gal. We've been seeing that for a few seasons.
Yeah.
We know Tek Knight is a freaky boy. We saw that in Gen V.
Yeah.
This was unhinged. And you know what? When he was like dressed up as like when they went to get Web Weaver's suit
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
Huey could sneak in as him, I was like, I wonder where this is going to go. Like, how is Homelander not just going to like hear his voice and recognize it, or peek under the mask and see him straight away? Because
Mm,
obviously the mask isn't made of nickel. So,
yeah.
and then he starts leading him away, and I'm like, the fuck's about to happen?
Yeah. When he was like, oh, so I'm so glad you've come and considered being my sidekick. I was like, mm, this is a bit of a weird reason for him to be invited. And
Yeah,
then when they were like going down, I was like, when he was going to take him down to the cave, I was like, does he realize and he's about to
off him.
like off him down here? Because he's like picked up on it's not actually, and then oh no, it's like we're finding out what his sidekick has to do.
Yeah,
Ooh, this is not just a superhero sidekick.
no.
uh,
Um,
yeah.
a lot of people on Twitter are also loving that Web Weaver's safe word was Zendaya.
Yeah,
Just
so on the nose.
such an unnecessarily funny line. But then again, with the, like, the season 1 flashback feel, with Homelander getting his fix of breast milk once again.
Yeah. Um, Firecrackers just moved to number one instantly,
The
purely
the
because she got
fact
Homelander the milk.
the fact that she went on a drug rate, like, I want to
Yeah,
know how she worked out that he's into milk like that. First and foremost. Second, why that a drug regime to induce lactation is wild, and I don't even know if that's a real thing, and I don't want to know.
I don't
But
know,
that's
but the way she's
crazy.
also like it increases the size of your heart slightly, which obviously,
Yeah.
like real life, if your heart increases in size, like, that's not a good thing.
No.
You're asking for a heart. So it's like she's risked that purely because do you know what it'll be? She said, didn't she, like when she first joined, she was like, "Oh, I'll do anything," and he kind of just shrugged it off. She's obviously then gone away and figured out what he's into to prove herself somehow. But or she's got that information off someone else. Like maybe Sage has put it
Yeah.
in a motion. Um, but yeah, that like he's going to be wrapped around her finger now without him realizing he's wrapped around her finger.
Yeah,
When she realizes she can use that to control him, and she's not like when she goes past that point of like she's doing it because she thinks, oh, this will get him to like me, to the point when she realizes this will control him, she'll get a power trip, and then that'll cause some issues, I think.
absolutely. It's
I
just this episode was
were you like
unhinged,
me?
man.
Were you like me when Sage got shot in the head and you were like, she's not dead?
Yeah, like we know her brain heals, so I'm like, right. So is this gonna be she's like out for ages, and then it gets revealed at the end of the episode she's fine because like it just took a while to
Hmm.
heal, or is it gonna be she just tanks it? But
I wasn't expecting to get up so quick. I will say that,
yes,
but
what
I
I'm more curious to know is because like she's really careful with
the
the
lobotomy.
lobotomies and stuff. Is this gonna take like is she still gonna be a dumbass for like the entire next episode and then she comes back in episode 8? Or is it just gonna be her brain heals but like her skull doesn't, so she just has like an open hole in her head forever? Like, I'm really curious to see how they handle this. Because it's
I
been made very clear, like, she isn't bulletproof, she doesn't heal apart from her brain. What is the rules here?
Do you know what I think it'll be? She'll still be this level of dumb for like the first half till they realize they need to take the bullet out. They'll take the bullet
Got
out, stitch up the hole or whatever, and then her brain, by the end of the episode, her brain will finish healing. She'll suddenly just be like, they fucking, and then she's going to then obviously remember everything properly and be like, then explain what actually fucking happened. Um,
Genuine question.
mhm.
Do we think that because obviously like she targets her frontal lobe to relax, do you think with where they shot her they could use that as an excuse to maybe make her either more sinister or more sympathetic as a character?
I don't think they do. I feel like the reason she does the frontal lobe and does it so carefully is because she wants it just to be relaxed for an hour or so, not really like fuck with her too much.
Hmm.
That's like just random, no control over what so it's like it's she has no like process that's just happened or anything. So I just think it'll be like it'll take way longer for her to be back to her normal self,
Mm.
which we'll see how Homelander manages without her in full cognitive mode.
Yes. Well, I mean, we
um,
saw how that goes, and just
but
touch
yeah,
on that quickly. When Homelander's addressing all of the rich fucks and the powerful fucks to try and get them on his cause, my favourite thing they routinely do with Homelander in this thing is they put him in a villain situation where they're going to give their big speech and they're going to rally the troops,
yeah,
and he like swells up with confidence and thinks, "I've got this." But then he starts talking and realizes, "Oh, I'm actually a dumbass who doesn't have a plan."
yeah.
And he starts losing the audience straight away, and he just looks around and he feels like a tiny little boy again.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's so funny because that's what Homelander isn't intelligent. Is he powerful? Yes, he's incredibly powerful. But guess what? He's not a thinker. That's why he needed Sage in the first place.
it's like he's like that person in like a group presentation, and then the person that did all the work is ill and not in for the day, and they come up and they're like, "So yeah, so this is what we're doing," and they have no clue what the work actually was because they did none of it, and then they're like, get asked a question like, "I don't have the answer to that because I didn't do any of the work," and then the fact that Vanessa
Victoria.
Victoria then steps up and rallies them because she's obviously a political figure, so they give her a bit more
Hmm.
respect. Um, Wild that he is becoming America's Hitler with the
Yeah.
internment camps and preparing an army of superheroes, preparing a coup of the government. Like,
So I saw an interesting thing today, and it does apply to the story they're telling in The Boys. It also applies a little bit to real life if you pay any
mm,
attention to anything. Um, but they say history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure as shit rhymes.
mm,
Um, and that's exactly what it is.
Hmm. Do
History rhymes, and that's exactly what we're seeing in this. Um,
you know
this
what would
episode was
be?
just fucking bonkers.
Do you know what would be hilarious if Homelander stages a riot on Capitol Hill?
Would they do that?
I think they would.
Yeah, they wouldn't be scared of a little January 6th situation.
No. Um. So, and the fact that we know this is currently around Christmas time
Mm-hmm.
in the seat, like, because there's the different things have been going on, maybe just after Christmas.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's that because it's election time, don't we? And they're still the elect.
Yeah, true.
Um,
So, uh,
it's
we also
crazy.
got Butcher finally realized that
Yes,
he's,
it finally dawned on him that he was
yeah,
having an angel and demon on the shoulder
yeah.
situation.
Uh, I, I don't think he uses the virus now,
Neither do I.
but I think he does something stupid instead.
I completely
I
agree.
think
I
he's
think
gonna
he
try and
shoots
get right.
himself up with some more temp V or something.
Either that, or he's gonna try and again to get Ryan out, but be more forward about it, and maybe accidentally. I think that's going to be the balance of, does he catch Ryan at a point where he's now happy with his dad again, and it pushes him away because he tries to force it too much,
Yeah.
meaning that, like we said, next season he ends up having to go toe to toe with Homelander or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Sorry, this
yeah.
episode just broke my fucking brain. Another crazy unnecessary scene was Tek Knight revealing his family money comes from slave catching.
Oh yeah, just
And
right
just
to
the
A-Train's
turning and
face.
staring at A-Train. It's like,
He'd be
my
like,
family made their money from slave catching.
and the way he's like, "Oh, my granddad would have caught you eventually."
Yeah,
And it's like,
crazy.
bruh.
Crazy. Put the man down on the spot. No one would blame you.
I feel like
I'm
A
love
Train's closer to flipping because
that redemption arc is cooking.
when he dropped Mother Milk off and the kid's like, "Oh my god, a superhero," and he's actually helped someone for like legit. I think that kind of sunk in. He's like, "Well, you can actually save people and
You
do
can
good.
actually use your powers and do
Yeah,
good
you
and not
can
just for
actually be a
profit.
hero." And I think, yeah, I think he's also very scared that he's going to get caught out.
I got a horrible feeling. We've got two
Mm.
episodes left. That is enough episodes to build A Train into completing his
Oh
redemption
no,
arc
he's going to die.
and then kill him off.
Yeah. Do you know what it's going to be? Say he's gonna like try and make his exit, and Sage is gonna tell Homelander that because she knows he was the leak and everything. She's just holding on to that. So I think she's gonna try and manipulate him to like use it against him, and he's still gonna want to dip out, and she's gonna tell Homelander. Oh, we also got Black Noir reveal.
Yeah, so it's the same actor who played Black Noir before.
Oh, but now we get to see his face.
Now we can just see his face and he gets to talk.
The fact that he also reveals he can fly is
Yes, that is so.
hilarious.
I think that's a nod to Black Noir being a Homelander clone in the comics because it's actually
Right.
really rare in the comics for Supes to be able to fly.
Right, okay.
Like that's not common, as far as I know. So I think that was a bit of a nod to the whole idea of Noir being a Homelander clone. Noir was one of the few Supes that could fly, but he didn't actually fly because he was staying under the radar.
I love that he's just like, yeah, I've got a job somewhere else and they're gonna let me fly.
Yeah. Did you know I can fly? Yes, we all know you can fly, but the old Noir can't, so you can't.
Also,
Also,
deep
the
deep
explaining Noir's motivations
yeah,
is
revealing that he
crazy.
just got horny for killing people.
Yeah. He just loved killing so much he couldn't stop getting an erection after it. Is just a crazy line.
It probably isn't even true. It's probably just something the Deep's made up because he's trying to claim that he was best friends with Noir.
Yeah, I don't feel like Noir would have liked Deep even remotely.
We know Noir was just mentally fucked up because he saw
Yeah.
comic characters. Oh, the thing about he's like, why did he have just a box of all these drawings of
One of the
Well,
characters,
yeah,
Bucky Brewer or
Bucky.
whatever the
Yeah,
fuck it was.
Bucky
Bucky
characters.
Beaver.
Yes, that's it.
Um, yeah, incredible. I there is a lot left to happen in these two episodes,
Mm.
and I don't know like how far they want to take it before season 5, but there is definitely a gut punch waiting to happen here, and I don't know exactly where it's going to take place.
Oh, I've just Kamiko lost her phone.
Yes,
That's gonna come back and bite them.
yes,
Also, I feel so bad for her though, with Frenchie not wanting to see her.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
rough. I love Kamiko so much. She might actually be the only
Using the
like
books to
good character.
talk was so good.
Kamiko might be the only like good character in the show.
She's like neutral because she still
But like,
does some fucked up shit.
what
But
what's she done that's bad to like
well, I
people who
mean,
didn't deserve it?
oh no, everyone does. It's that neutral of like she will do what needs to be done to the people who deserve it, but by like the law, she's not seen as good
Yeah.
because
So what? She's chaotic good.
yeah, which is fine. Mm.
Whereas like Hughie has done some things that he himself isn't proud of now. So he's not like fundamentally good. Annie's probably the next closest to good, but we
Mm,
know she's done some dodgy shit. It's just it's buck wild out here. I cannot wait to see how these last two episodes go.
yeah.
The entire pacing of this episode was phenomenal.
Mm,
A lot of people, like rightly or wrongly, is irrelevant here. A lot of people are saying at times the boys this season has felt a little bit too on the nose with the policies and a little bit less of just weird kooky stuff. And that is just because we're getting towards the end of a inherently political story.
yeah.
But to have one episode where they just go off the rails with batshit crazy stuff again,
Yep.
it honestly threw me, and I was like, wait, what is happening? We're just cutting between the most random shit ever, and it does make sense narratively, but I'm just like, what? Why is Hughie getting his feet tickled by the CEO of Vault while she rubs one out?
Oh,
Like, what's going on?
honestly, I can't imagine anything like worse.
Craziness.
Yeah, definitely some trauma.
Anyway, yes, for sure.